Thank you so much. I wish I was home right now. No offense, not personal. That is literally my first thought whenever I walk into any room. I'm like, well, I wish I was home right now. And I think it's your thought too. I think you're like, I hope this is good, but also wrap this shit up so I can go home. I actually think that's the meaning of life. Like, people are always philosophizing. What is the meaning of life? I'll tell you the meaning of life. The meaning of life is, fuck this place, let's go home. Now, luckily for all of us, I think we are 5 years away from never leaving our homes again. And I'm pretty fucking excited about it. There are a lot of indicators if you're paying attention. Like, number one, do you ever really process that you don't have to leave your home to buy anything? I know you're like, I order some things online. No. You can sit on your couch, pull up your phone, and if you want to, just be like, I want bananas, and I want hammers, and I want an eagle's beak. And then Amazon's like, it's on your fucking doorstep. How about that? Isn't that insane to you? You don't have to leave your home to see people. You should. You don't have to. Just hold up the same device and be like, hi. Bye. And you saw everyone. But the number one indicator that we are not going to leave our homes one day very soon are the number of commercials I see for beds that sit up for you. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you haven't been watching TV. There are endless commercials that air where basically a guy comes out and he's like, doesn't it suck to sit up? Something like that. And I guess the people are like, it does suck. And he goes, well, get this fucking bed. You don't have to sit up no more. They try to advertise that it's for snoring. It's because you're a piece of shit. That's why you got that bed. All you've done is lay down. You've been sleeping for hours. And your first thought when you wake up is, I want to sit up. I want to go from here to... Oh, wakey, wakey, little turd. How are you going to change the world? That means in 2 years, we're going to be sitting in beds that sit up for us, and we'll just go, food. And then a mechanical arm will come up, and you'll go, and then you'll go, shit, and the bed will open, and you'll go, bah! And you'll shit through the bed, and then you'll be like, I'm tired. I want to rest. Oh, yeah. How are you not going to watch? You're going to watch every fight, you know? Fights have that weird quality. Fights are kind of like hand jobs, and that, like, you don't really want one, but you're like, well, let's see where it goes, you know? Like, will you give it a kiss? No? All right. So, yeah. I had to take a shot. So, I'm in Philadelphia, walking through the park in the middle of the day. Beautiful day in Philly, beautiful park. I'm walking through this park, and as I'm walking through it, I see a white guy, and he yells across the park to a black guy. He calls him a nerd. And when you hear that and you're in public, you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. That's your first thought. And then another black guy, I don't know if he lived in the bushes, but he popped out of the bushes. Like, if this is a bush right here, I just saw a black guy go, no. Not in my park, But it's like, no one else saw that guy. Only I was like, oh my God, I see that guy, like that. And it became my own personal movie. I watched him line up like the honey badger. He was like, that one? All right. And he sprinted across the park, and he tackled the white guy. So instinctively, I just went, get him! But it took me a second to realize I'm the only other white guy in the park. Yeah, so like 10 black people turned and I went, no! Him. Our him. And they were like, what? And I was like, I'm out, that's what. And then they killed that white guy. And for the record, I don't give a fuck if they did. You know why? There is no such thing as white guy loyalty, okay? I mean, there is, but those guys are obvious as they hold torches. But the rest of us... I probably checked into 400 hotels this year. And when I tell you that this has happened to me more than half a dozen times, I am not exaggerating. Every hotel check-in begins usually the same. It's standard. Hotels, the people at the desk, they go, last name? And this just happened to me. Last name? And I go, Segura. And the guy goes, whoa, are you Japanese? And I go, 100%, yeah. And he just goes, oh, we don't get a lot of Japanese people here. That's pretty cool. So I have to stop him and go, hey, man, I'm not Japanese. And he goes, Segura. Segura! Sounds Japanese. I go, that's because you're saying it Japanese. I could be Smith, and if you want to go Smith, it's Japanese. He goes, well, what are you? Which is fucking rude. Can I just say it's never important to ask that question? What are you? It's never important to ask that. It's sometimes important, but not a lot. When is it important? Sushi chef, accountant, 100-meter dash. Outside of that, sometimes it matters. So I tell him, I go, Segura is Spanish. And he goes, that's weird. You look white. And I go, I am white. And he goes, but you're Spanish? And I go, correct. He goes, do you speak Spanish? I said, yes. He goes, so you're Mexican? And I go, no. And he goes, I don't know what's going on. I said, what's going on is you failed fucking social studies. And you're not too good at geography either. And then I see his head drop, like he feels bad. I'm like, look, man, you understand there's white people in Mexico. You know that part. And he goes, no, I don't. I said, there's white people there, there's black people there, there's even Asian people there. And if you really want to shit your pants, those Asian people, they speak Spanish too. You don't expect it, but they're like, dim sum, muy rico, si lo quiere probar, si no lo quiere probar, concha tu madre, nadie te quiere, anda la mierda. They are Asian, and they speak Spanish. Cool shoes, Tom. Where'd you get them? All right, I'll tell you. So, I was doing shows up in Portland, Oregon, and did a few shows, big show like this. Group came up to me afterwards, and they go, we noticed you have Nikes on. Do you like them? And I go, yes. And they go, do you want to come to Nike headquarters tomorrow? And I said, not really, no. I like your shoes. I don't want to see your office, man. And he goes, well, you can shop at the employee store. So I go, what's that? He said, it's a warehouse. It has every product imaginable, and you would get 50% off. And I go, how about I rent a U-Haul and I empty your fucking store tomorrow? He goes, have at it. I get excited. Next morning he calls me. He goes, I wanted to tell you, you can come to Nike, but you're not allowed to shop in our store. And I go, why? And he goes, we put your name in our system and it was flagged. And I'm like, flagged by Nike for not doing sit-ups? Like, what the fuck's that all about? He goes, no, you're a person of influence. And I go, excuse me? He goes, you're an entertainer. We call that a person of influence. You're not allowed to shop in the store. I go, that's fucked up. And he goes, you can try to go through the entertainment division. And I go, what's that? And he goes, that's free stuff. And I go, all right. So I get that number, and I call, and this guy answers, and he goes, Nike Entertainment. And I go, hey, Tom Segura. And he goes, okay. And I go, I'm a person of influence. And he goes, okay. And I go, I'm calling about my free shit. And he goes, all right. And I go, so how you want to do it? And he goes, we'll regroup and we'll get back to you. And I go, okay. And they never called, so I bought these Adidas for $130. So fuck you, Nike. Let's see if you even survive without my purchases now. You want to know how crazy that company is? I told that story in New York City at a show. And the next day, a Nike executive got my cell phone number and called me and goes, oh, I was at your show last night, and I think it's very rude that you're telling that story. And I go, I think it's rude that you didn't give me free shit. And he goes, I think you should stop telling that story. And I go, fuck you. Get out of here, man. He goes, fuck you. And I go, why don't you change my diaper? He goes, what? I said, you heard me, bitch. And it was at that moment I realized we have this amazing insult at our fingertips that we're just not utilizing enough. Why isn't change my diaper part of the lexicon? It should be the ultimate insult. It should be like, fuck you, why don't you fuck your mother, why don't you change my diaper, game over. I'm serious. Rappers should wear them in videos and be like, change my diaper, bitch. The president of another country should tell ours, change my diaper, orange man. And listen, if you're a parent, you know exactly why that insult is so appealing. If you're not, let me key you in on a little secret. There's a reason your asshole is the only part of your body you can't physically see. It's a fucking horror show, okay? When you have a little one, you have a front row seat for years. And my son shits with his eyes closed. I don't know how often you do that. I'm guessing it's twice a year. Maybe the day you get back from Cancun and when you tell the lady in the Thai restaurant, yeah, I can handle my spice. My son, every single shit, he's like, and when he's done, he makes eye contact and you're like, whoa. And he pushes out the last bit as he stares through you. He's like, ugh. And you're like, ugh, you're nasty as hell. It's gross. And just once, it would be nice if as I'm cleaning my son's shit-filled asshole, if he would look up at me and be like, hey, motherfucker, I appreciate it. And I'd be like, yeah, and I appreciate you. I know. It's a very divisive joke. It has been the entire tour. I think it sets up the audience into two camps, you know? People who are like, don't do the yelp. It makes it real. And then other people were like, do the yelp. That's my favorite shit, man. And you know who you are. Yeah. Dude, having kids makes you do crazy shit. I'm not even proud of some of the things I've done, all right? Last year, it was the first time I ever had somebody bully one of my kids. I didn't respond well. This is what I took my older son to a park. He was 2.5. The cutest little fucking kid. And he walks into the park, and he walks up to a playground set. And as he walks up to it, he steps on it, and an older kid, meaning 4, he goes, you can't play with that. That's mine. And I go, I'll kick your chest through your back. And he goes, what? And I go, I'll stomp you out right now. So he's crying, I'm laughing, everybody's gathered around, right? You can't do that. You can't do anything to a shitty kid. You can curse a lot around them.
Not to them. That's an important distinction. Around them, and then you fantasize about them repeating it at home and getting in trouble, and that's very satisfying, all right? But, you know, you got to put rhythm to it or they won't remember because they're just dumb fucking kids. So you got to be like, ship his motherfucker, count my balls, lick my dick, eat my ass. And the kid will be like, what's that? Be like, go tell your mom. That's what that is. As they walk by, you can get in one accidental hit. I've tried it, but it's got to, as they're passing, you know, like that, and then they'll be like, shit, piss, motherfucker.
Here's all I'm saying. I can't tell you where to go. I can tell you where not to go. Wherever they film the first 48 on A&E. Oh, if you're not familiar with the show, here's what it is. Camera crews follow real homicide detectives for the first 48 hours after a murder. And the reason that that time distinction is so important is that after 48 hours, they give up on that murder. They're like, that's some old shit. What do you want to do today? You're like, how about you keep trying to solve that murder, man? That shit happened on Monday. It's Wednesday. We're not going to solve that shit. Really. There are so many amazing moments on that show. So many. A lot of the episodes take a similar path. I'm blown away, first of all, at how many times there's a witness to a murder. It's crazy. I always thought murders happen in dark alleys. Nobody saw shit. No. Every other episode, they're like, you see that shit? And the guy's like, I saw that shit, yeah. Where? Right fucking here. Really. I was standing here, and then he killed that dude there. What'd he look like? He was like 5'2" to 6'8", something like that. And they're like, that's the fucking description you're gonna give us? Uh-huh. Anything else about him? Yeah, he had ears too. Thanks, man. No problem. They still will sketch that shit out. I don't know. And they show it to people. Do you know this guy? And everyone's like, nah. But then one guy will be like, yeah! That's Cricket right there. You're like, oh shit. You know him? I've been knowing Cricket 27 years. What's his real name? Man, that's just Cricket. I don't even know. Stop being white and weird. That's a perfect fucking impression, and you know exactly who that was, okay? Yeah, it's a black guy, and he's wearing a wife beater, and he's got on a dirty hat, and he's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And he looks like he's about 33, but you find out he's 76 years old. And he speaks super aggressively to the cops. I've been out here for a minute! And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. When was the last time you saw him? He came through with jellyfish last week. They were looking for some smoke. And they're like, all right, Jesus Christ. They always cut to the whitest detective from that guy, too. They cut from that guy to the guy who's like, I don't think he's going to help us out. We're going to have to find Cricket on our own. That show has the best moment in television. It's the most dramatic thing you could ever see, because it's real life, and that is the interrogation. The interrogation is amazing, because here's the thing about drama. If you want to have a great, dramatic moment, raise the stakes. Guess what? There's no higher stakes than somebody being questioned about taking somebody else's life. It's inherently compelling television. It is also super serious. But the detectives insist on using the suspect's street name, so the whole thing turns into a fucking cartoon. Like, they're literally like, your life is on the line. We need to talk to you. Why don't you have a seat? Little stank, why don't you sit down for a second? Did you or did you not know Dookie Shoes? I don't know no Dookie Shoes. I got a picture of you hanging out with Dookie Shoes. I mean, I seen them. I don't know. And then they'll throw one bit of evidence against the wall, hoping it'll solve the case. They'll be like, well, we were talking to Naamin, and he said that you were at the 7-Eleven last week. And he'll be like, yeah, I shot him in the face. And you're like, God damn, really? That's all it took to break you? Dude, lie. Lie for longer. You can kill somebody, you can't lie for 10 fucking minutes about it? Like, dudes will break on anything. They'll be like, we heard you had on a blue shirt last Friday. Yeah, I stabbed those 4 people. Dude, a lot of people have blue shirts, man. You can still get out of this. Here's what I've learned watching that show, okay? Lawyer up. You can't handle that shit. Everybody's like, I'm gonna talk to the cops and straighten this whole thing out. You're gonna do 25 to life. Have fun with that, man. Nobody asked for a lawyer. I've seen 300 people get interrogated on this show. 2 of them were like, can I talk to a lawyer? And both times the detectives were like, fuck! And then at the end of those episodes, it said on the screen, all charges against Tayshaun were dropped. Or Jim, pick a fucking name. Let's be honest, there's no Jims on the show. I've seen every episode, and none start with, hey, Bryce, can we talk to you for a second, man? Where were you last Friday? I was over at Tanner's house. Then Skylar had a party, so we went over there. And then we picked up Connor and we had pancakes. Sorry, bro. The detective, bro.
Years ago, I wouldn't find it necessary to make that statement, but in light of all the recent scandals, I don't jerk off in bars. Now, yeah, it's another reason I stopped reading messages from people. I keep getting messages all the time. People were like, hey, a big fan. Don't sexually assault anyone so I can still be your fan. Huh? First of all, ride or die, bitch. Yeah. I don't want no half-steppers in my crew. Secondly, what am I supposed to write back? Good looking out, bruh. I was about to until I read your email, Kyle. Fuck you, Kyle. You don't have to worry about me. I don't jerk off in public. It's not what I'm into. I'm into something else. Here's what it is. You guys are like, okay. All right, yeah. If you ever want to hear me masturbate, all you have to do is call me and tell me you can't make it to our dinner plans. I'll start stroking right then and there. I am not social. I fucking love that call. That is my favorite call. I especially if it's as I'm leaving the house, I'm going to have multiple orgasms, okay? When I'm walking out of the house and I'm like, I don't want to fucking go out with them. And then they call and they're like, we can't make it. I'm like, keep up. Why? Well, we were in a car accident. I'm like, oh. Are you okay? You are, but you're still not coming to dinner. Okay. All right, clean it up, Tom. You got it. So, all right, let's get serious. Guys, I think it's time we have to start taking better care of the environment. All right? Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that responsibility falls on the poor. And here's why. You're already in my trash. How about you separate the glass from the plastic? Yeah. Sounds like there's some poor people over here, and that's fucking disgusting. Now, here's what I know for sure. Poor people love the Bible, okay? And they love it because it's the only book you get for free. Now, try getting another book for free. Let me know how that shit goes. Can you imagine being so dumb that you're superstitious? Imagine being so impossibly stupid. Personally, I have nothing but contempt for all superstitions and all superstitious people. I hate all of them. I hate riding in the car with someone who's like, we're about to drive over a bridge. Like, I'm gonna get out of the car and I hope you drive off this bridge. I really do. They're all dumb. It's 11:11. Make a wish. I wish you would drink a smoothie of cyanide and broken rocks. That's what I wish. They should all upset you, but there's one that should make you march in the streets. I'm serious. I cannot believe that we live in this incredibly wealthy, developed nation, and collectively, we all just accept that hotels, even some office buildings, just don't have to have a 13th floor. Like, do you understand that we're throwing away sequential numbers because people are like, ha ha. You can go to a nice hotel, the fucking Four Seasons. It'll go 12th floor, 14th floor. And if you go, I'm sorry, why isn't there a 13th floor? Well, that's a spooky number. And if we had it, there'd be ghosts and goblins up there. So we took it away, and now it's not so scary. And you're like, are you fucking Cajun? Is that really what we're doing right now? I don't know. Yeah. You guys like that one, but that Bible one, you pulled back on that. You guys were like, oh. He listens to every show. It's cool. I talked to him before the show. He said it was a good angle. Don't worry about it. Now,
I've been to unbelievable places because of this job. It's really crazy. I've seen amazing places. Been to Rome, Hong Kong, Machu Picchu, all because of this job. And then there's other days. Like I had to go to Topeka, Kansas to do a show. We went because they bought tickets, but we got the fuck out of there right away. There was something that's pretty cool, though, that happened there, which is that my show there was protested by the Westboro Baptist Church. Now, if you know them, sometimes they're in the news. And if you're like, oh, really? There's a church in the news? But why? Well, sometimes they also protest dead soldiers' funerals, cool shit like that. And I was backstage, and my tour manager came in the room. He goes, hey, the Westboro Baptist Church is here. I was like, to see the show? Really? And he was like, no. So they're protesting, and they were out front with their dumb fucking signs. They're homemade signs because they're poor. They had signs made that said, Tom is a sinner. And I was like, cool. Then they had like real hateful signs too that said like, God hates gays, but didn't say gay. It was another word. Your dad says it when the Cardinals lose, you know, like. All right, your uncle. Somebody says it. I took offense, not so much to the word as the implication that God hates gays. I don't think that's true. I think God has a people problem. There are too many people, and that is not gay people's fault. Because they butt fucked. Do I have to spell everything out for you guys? Like, Jesus. You can nut as hard as you want in somebody's ass over and over and over.
And something will come out, but it's not a baby. Still worth taking a picture of, I would argue. Maybe give it a name. It's not going to live long. I'm not gay, but I am not above checking out a dude. I'm serious. Like, if I'm at the beach and there's some super fucking, like, just yoked dude there, I'll be like, hey, nice. Very nice. What's your protein intake like? What do you do? Cardio and lift? Of course. And then a hot chick will walk by and I'll go, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Then he tested my vision. He washed his hands, he tested my vision. And he goes, you're right. You have latent farsightedness. I go, what does that mean? This is his quote. Your vision's always sucked. You just didn't know it. I go, do you care to explain more? And he goes, think of it like this. Your eyes have been fighting to make you think you can see well, and now they're tired. That's why you're here. I go, dude, that's like me saying I'm young, my skin got tired, now I'm old. And he goes, that's an interesting way of putting it. And I go, no, it isn't. I'm just old and blind. And he goes, don't forget you're balding. And I go, I know. I used to have hair, but they got tired and then they fell out. And he goes, now you're getting it. And I'm like, dude, how do you get paid to do this? And I get why you laugh at my physical flaws. Physical flaws are funny. They just are. Disabilities are not. But some are. Most aren't. We know those ones, you know? Like if there's a 10K or a quilt, it's pretty bad. But the rest are up for debate. And if you're sitting here and you're like, well, when is it ever funny? Well, luckily for you, I have 3 examples. First, foreign accent syndrome. Some of you know about it, some of you don't. It's real. You can look it up on your way out of here. Some people experience head trauma. Not funny. But they wake up speaking their native language with a foreign accent. Very funny. I defy you to watch interviews with these people and not piss yourself laughing. Do you understand? Like a farmer in Alabama who's normally like, that guy hits his head and is now like, the tractor trailer, it fell. A la mer. That's not funny to you, you piece of shit? Really? The best case ever of foreign accent syndrome happened in the UK. And not only was it a British woman who lived her entire life in the UK, she'd never left the town she was born in for 33 years. She was in an accident, and she woke up speaking English, but with a Chinese foreign accent. Did you hear what I just fucking said? Do you now believe in God and his awesome sense of humor? A British lady who her whole life was like, hello, it's a bit of a whiffle, isn't it? Like that. Now says, I have not had my conversation voiced in over 3 years now. First of all, do you know how hard it is to do that impression without squinting? Secondly, if you're getting uncomfortable, like, whoa, he's mocking an Asian accent? No, she's white. This is fine. A white British lady just happens to say, would you like a cup of tea? Tastes good? You want milk? You want biscuit? Oh, good. You want me to suck the dick now? I don't know, whatever. She's a nice British lady. She can say whatever she wants. Now, if you're sitting in your seat right now and you're like, I don't think it's funny. Well, don't get your tits in a tussle. I got 2 more for you. So...
Now, to further that point, I'll tell you this. I remember 2 years ago, I'm sitting at a cafe in Los Angeles for lunch. I sit down. As I sit down, my friend, I can hear her audibly say, I can't believe I'm thinking that. And I go, thinking what? And she goes, oh, nothing. And I go, what is it? She goes, it's embarrassing. And I go, well, just tell me. She goes, if I tell you, you'll make fun of me. And I go, I always make fun of you. Just say it. And she goes, no, it's just something, I want to keep inside. I go, but you said you want to do it, so just say it, and then you can make it happen. She goes, I don't want to. I go, listen, if you don't put it out in the universe, it'll never happen. You got to say it. What is it? And she goes, okay, I want to blow somebody in the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, I immediately think, what would my mom say, And I tell myself, don't be like mom. This is this girl's dream. So I look her dead in her eyes, and I go, you should try. There's a bunch of them. That's what I said. Now, 3 months later, she got on their tour bus, and she told them, and guess what? They all accepted. If you are not familiar, there are 9 guys in the Wu-Tang Clan. 9. So many guys. That's so many. Can we park for a moment at how many dicks 9 is? I don't even understand how anyone's sitting in their seat right now. There's people out here like, what else you got? Are you shitting me? That's not a lot. Close your eyes and picture 9 dicks. You're like, oh my God, they're everywhere. Yeah, because there's 9 of them. That's why. I'm not slut shaming. I'm saying objectively, 9 is a lot of anything. Like if I was like, I had cinnamon rolls today, and you're like, how many did you have? I had 9. You mean take you to the emergency room, or you're gonna lose a foot by the morning? We should go. 9 dicks? Are you fucking shitting me? Some of you, it took you 15 years to get to 9 dicks. This was a Thursday for this young lady. Try to imagine the physical labor involved with blowing 9 probably not small dicks. If you're not aware, the Wu-Tang fellas don't look like me, all right? That is some CrossFit shit at that level. If you think burpees are rough, try. Am I doing good? Do you like me now? Like, after how many do you think she was like, let's take a little break for a second? What the fuck am I doing? Why are they so mean about it? How many is that? 4? 5? Am I done? And they're like, no, you're not done. You got RZA, Ray, Ghost, Matt? No, you're not done. And she's like, but my neck hurts. And they're like, you gotta protect your neck. Don't you listen to our music? Yes. That is a top shelf Wu-Tang blowjob joke. Now, she was a real animal, I asked her one time, I was like, if you could go back to that day and do anything differently, what would you have done? And she said, I'd have skipped lunch. So, Philly girl, what are you gonna do? Now,
Then I start thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I am gonna die. I went to the doctor that day. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I went to the doctor and I was like, all right, I'm just going to get a checkup, see what's going on. The honest truth is I knew it wasn't going to be awesome, okay? I knew the doctor wasn't going to be like, you might be surprised to hear this, but you're perfect. Like, you're a perfect physical specimen, man. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I didn't expect him to be a dick. Usually they're not. I feel like in my experience, doctors are polite, almost overly polite, where it's phony and condescending. When they go, oh, really interesting story you got there. Doctors do that because you're telling them a story, and doctors don't want to hear a story. Doctors want to hear, this hurts. Not, I was over at my friend Charlie's house, and we went to move the ottoman, and, I mean, you can use it as a coffee table, or you could use it as an ottoman, it's up to you. And your doctor's like, I want to blow my fucking brains out right now. I go in there, I sit on the exam table, which is my least favorite table to sit on in the world. This is the only table that in 30 years I've sat on where my feet don't touch the ground. So I feel like a fucking toddler waiting, like... My doctor comes in, he doesn't say hello, he doesn't say good morning, he just walks in, he points at me, which is super aggressive, you know? To start a conversation with somebody like, hey man, you're like, hey, what's up, man? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, what? And he goes, do you want something for your hair? And I go, I don't get it. And he goes, has nobody told you that your hair's falling out? And I was like, damn. No. And he goes, oh, sorry. All right. Then he pulls my chart out of the slot, super dramatic, so that it makes a fucking noise. He goes, I'm like, and he goes, wow. And I'm like, really? Wow. Is it full-blown AIDS? Like, why is it wow? And he goes, you weigh 245. And I go like, yeah, like I knew that shit. And he goes, you weighed 230 last time you were here. Not exactly what I would call weight loss. And I'm like, are we at a fucking roast or something? Right? Like, what are you doing? Then he says, you know, you're the fattest patient I've seen all day. And I go, it's 9:30 in the morning. And he goes, still. He's like, you know, we ran your blood work. It turns out your muscle enzymes are through the roof. And I go, yeah, man, like, I'm super strong. Like, how's that a problem? And he goes, they're off the charts. I'm like, even better. I'm probably your strongest patient, man. And he goes, I don't think you understand muscle enzymes. And I go, that's true. I don't know what they are. And he goes, well, the only way you could have them this high would be like, A, if you were an Olympic athlete, which clearly, you know, I'm like, dude, what is the deal, man? And he goes, the other way would be if you were a cocaine addict. And I go, I don't do coke. And he goes, I'm your doctor. You don't have to lie to me. And I go, I'm not lying. And he goes, I can't treat you if you're not going to be honest. And I go, hey man, aren't cokeheads skinny? Isn't that like part of the deal? And he goes, usually, yeah. The nurse comes in, she takes my chart out of his hands and she goes, oh my God, his muscle enzymes are so high. Maybe he runs marathons. And my doctor goes, look at him. So at this point I go, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me today. I'm gonna leave now. And he goes, all right. And he goes, hold on a second. Do you have a ring on your finger? And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're married. And I go, yeah. And he goes, to a guy? And I go, no. And he goes, oh, I thought you were gay. And I go, why? And he goes, oh. I'm like, all right, dude. And he goes, hey, I'm just kidding. And I go, that's fine. He goes, but check it out. And he takes my chart and he shows it to me, and he had written gay question mark on my medical chart. The thing that gets sent to other doctors has his inside, maybe he sucks cock joke written on it.
3-hour round trips to buy weed. And if you're like, oh, what kind of weight were you moving? $20 worth of marijuana? That kind of major shit? I bought weed from a dude in a standalone trailer one time. Not a trailer park, a solo trailer. The most terrifying housing situation that exists. Like where other trailer people are like, get the fuck out of here, and they kick him out. I just walk up to that shit, 15. And this dude's like, you trying to get a sack? I was like, oh shit, yeah. He goes, we could go do that. And I was like, all right, cool. And he goes, we just need to go get it. I was like, you don't fucking have it? Isn't that your sole responsibility? So I tried to play cool. I was like, all right, let's go get it. He goes, I'll go get it. You stay here and watch my place. And I was like, okay. And he goes, there's a 357 and a shotgun on my bed. Anybody comes in here, blast them. Inside, paralysis. But what I said was, that's what's up. Like, yeah, man. Pow. And then he stopped at the door and he goes, but don't shoot my mom. I go, can we get a description before we agree to terms? How about a height and weight on old mom? Don't you love the juxtaposition of angrily being like, you tell that motherfucker, but then don't forget to say thank you. I've been trying to incorporate that expression in my life. I was at an airport bar, and I was getting up, and they called my flight, and the bartender goes, somebody recognized you. They said to send you a drink. I go, tell that motherfucker I appreciate it. He goes, what the hell did you just say to me right now? And I said, fuck his mother, I appreciate her. Tell him that. Asshole. So I still haven't found a place for it, but I'm working on it. So I met, like I said, I'm meeting a lot of people. I met a woman after a show recently. They're allowed at my shows. And see, they're here. And she came up to me and she was like, it's a very specific woman, all right? I do feel like I just did a 0.02 second impression. And everybody's like, I know exactly who you're talking about right now. So, because every city has. You know my favorite part of that woman is if you go, why are you laughing? She'll go, I'm not. Okay. So she comes up to me and she goes, funny show. And I go, thanks. Thanks, motherfucker. I appreciate it. So I go, thank you. And she goes, are you going to go jerk off all over your hotel room now? And I was like, ugh. I said, I'm probably just going to pick a spot. You know, I'm not going to do it. She goes, yeah, I get it. And I was like, good. And she goes, I'm super horny. And I go, okay. She goes, I'm horny the way guys are. And I go, no, you're not. And she goes, yeah. And I said, you're really not. And she goes, yeah, why do you say that? And I said, let me tell you a little story. When I was a freshman in college, I looked like this. I looked 47 years old. It was alarming to other students. They would see me walking through the doors, and they'd be like, are you a fucking administrator here or something? I'd be like, I'm a freshman. I'm 18. And they're like, you're a narc? That's what you are. This is my birth face, man. I'm 41 Jump Street. So with this face came great responsibility. I bought alcohol for our entire dorm. I don't mean 3 or 4, everybody. It wasn't even a challenge. I looked so old that when I walked into liquor stores, they'd be like, hello, sir, how's the stock market today? Shit like that. I bought booze to everybody. Everybody got booze. I did the same thing with pornography. And let me tell you, before you jump at me like, why would you do that? You just watch it in your dorm room online. Well, the story takes place in 1997. And there was a lot of buffering back then. That is the truth. I don't know if you remember the late 90s or if you were even around, but like porn in the late 90s was like, ha ha, Who am I kidding? I use my right hand, so Now, keep in mind, I'm not buying porn for a couple buddies. It is for an entire building of 18-year-old freshman dudes in college. You can't wrap your head around how massive and specific these orders were. I would go door to door, and guys would hand me cash and their wish list. They'd be like, I want black cocks, asses, and feet. Don't fuck it up. I'm like, all right. Do you know what kind of a psychopath I looked like? Walking through a porn store with a grocery list, like... Mom said not to forget. So one day, I am buying outrageous amounts of porn. And the owner of the store comes up to me. He goes, you should go to this other store. And I'm like, that is a weird thing to tell your best customer, man. So I go, why? He just goes, I just think you'll like it. And so I go, okay. I go. He sends me to, I don't know if you've ever been to a cement block building with no sign or address. The kind of building that's like, I don't know, you fucking guess what's in here. Like that? Well, I walk in and I see a man wearing overalls and no t-shirt, which I think we all know is the international uniform for the last guy you'll ever see. Now, this guy is behind the counter. He looks up and sees me, and the first words out of his mouth are, piss fetish? And I go, what? No. And he goes, oh, I got a full bladder. Don't want to waste it. And I go, what the fuck? I said, is that what you do around here? And he goes, among other things. I said, well then, show me around. Like, let me see what else you have, you know? I don't want to be closed-minded. So we go through the store. He shows me movies and toys. He goes, we got a booth. You can put in a quarter. And I go, yeah, I got it. He goes, but this here's our VIP. And you'll notice there's a hole in the wall. And if you're standing in there, someone might stick their finger through that hole. And they'll go, just like this. And if you want to, you stick your prick in that hole and someone will suck it on the other side. And my dumbass goes, is it a guy or a girl? He goes, you see any other cars in that parking lot, Junior? So then I felt a pool of diarrhea forming inside of me and fear shooting down my spine, as I was certain I was going to get kidnapped and raped by Mr. Fuck Dynasty. So I said, I'll just take my movies, thanks. So lady, when you say you're horny the way guys are, I ask you, are you willing to go into an unmarked building and wait behind a wall for a stranger to stick his dick through a hole in that wall and then you polish it off for the love of the game? Because that's what savages men are.
Kid sounds like he fixes Harleys all day, but he's really just obsessed with the decades-old video game Pac-Man, and he has Pac-Man questions, morning, noon, and night. He woke me up at 3 in the morning. Let's be clear, he doesn't know how to wake somebody up, all right? He stood an inch from my face. The most menacing way somebody can wake you up. He just goes, hey, Tom. I was like, holy shit! What? He's like, what would happen if Pac-Man needed a house? I'm like, what? He thinks I didn't understand the question. So he slows it down for me.
He goes, what would happen if I go, he'd call a realtor. I'm having a heart attack, all right? Pac-Man would get a loan and buy a house. He's like, okay, I'm going to bed. I'm like, all right, I'll be up for 3 days, thanks. At the same time, I have a monitor on the nightstand for the little guy, right? This dude stands up in bed, and he goes, what was that? So now I drag my ass into his room. He's standing there with his 3-year-old gut out. You know how they're all like... I'm like, what do you own, a Chevron? Why do you stand like that, dude? I go, what? He goes, what was that? I go, what was what? He goes, that. I go, what's that? He goes, what was that? I go, I don't know what the fuck you're asking. He goes, was that a choo-choo? I said, what? He goes, was it a choo-choo? He said it like, are you stupid enough to turn our trains on without the conductor at the helm? I go, no. He goes, so what was it? I go, I don't know. I said, maybe it was a choo-choo. And he goes, yeah, don't do that. And I was like, oh. All right, Al-Qaeda boss, go back in your cave. He's one of those kids that only laughs at real anger. I don't know if you've ever met one of those peaches, but... See, most 2- and 3-year-olds, they laugh at manufactured anger, performative anger. You can go up to a kid that age and just go, rawr, and they're like, and this kid's like, mm-mm. I want to see your blood pressure spike, man. The hardest I've ever seen him laugh, it's not even close. It's when he flushed my car keys down the toilet. It was my fault, I guess. I didn't hang them up. I put them on the coffee table that I also bought. And I was laying on the couch, you know, it was a long day. I see his little ass come in the room, see the keys, and he's like... And I go, no, don't. And he picks them up, and he goes, chase me. Down the hall. I go, okay. I give him a head start. He's 3. When I stand up, I see him dip into the bathroom. I'm like, no. And when I get there, and I lose my shit. I don't yell at him. I'm just yelling at my life, you know? I'm like, fuck! No! Fuck! And when I turn, he's like, that's what I'm talking about right there. You're a very funny guy. Fucking kicked him in the chest. Well, anyways, after that, I kept reading messages, reading. And then, a little while ago, I got, in one 6-week period, 200,000 emails and messages just from the state of Louisiana over jokes that I told in a special. Now, if you don't know, I had a joke in a previous special, and yeah, it's fine. It was a very silly joke. The joke essentially was, I said, you know what? We should build a wall in this country, but we should build it around that dumb fucking state. That was my joke. Now, look, I'm so dumb, I was like, everybody will like that joke. No, they don't. Not the people you made it about. I got so many misspelled death threats, and I was like, is this Creole? What the hell are they trying to tell me?
I got asked about it so much, I was on the news about it, that I just volunteer it now, okay? So here's the truth. I never would have shit on them as hard as I did if I had been to Arkansas, which I now have. What a fucking dump that place is. I think when people flush their toilets in Louisiana, it all comes up in Arkansas. It smells like broken dreams and buttholes and a little bit of barbecue. But here's what's fascinating. Most of you will never experience this. But if you ever offend a large group of people, like let's say an entire state, you end up learning a lot about them. You don't want to, but they insist. So, yeah, I know everything about Louisiana now. It's the worst. I'm like an unofficial historian on the place I least want to go to. I mean, their state motto runs through my head like it's the Dow Jones ticker all day, every day. It's Louisiana, where people smoke in their cars with their babies. And Arkansas is, you done with that baby? So, what are you gonna do with it? We're gonna eat it. What do you mean we're gonna do with it? Soo-wee! Now, I also got a lot of messages from the Down syndrome community. That was fun. Here's the truth about that. People with Down syndrome write much more coherently than people from Louisiana. So, we were able to have a dialogue. And I think I've grown and matured since then. I'm serious. I think I have. I think, for instance, right now, today, I think it is both lazy and antiquated to say, are you fucking R-worded? R-E-T-A-R. You get it. And here's why. I think when I say that, what I'm trying to say is, are you an idiot? Are you an imbecile? Are you stupid? And that is not the right word for that. The right word for that is Cajun. So that's what I'm going to start saying from now on. So fuck you again. That's my point. Now, yeah.